All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dive into a tool that promises to do one simple but huge thing. Take all that confusing stuff we run into and make it crystal clear. And it all kicks off with a question that, I bet, hits pretty close to home. So, does this sound familiar? You know that feeling, right? You're just drowning in articles, reports, textbooks, and it feels like the more you read, the less you actually get. Yeah, it's a feeling we've all had, and it's exactly the problem we're going to unpack today.
Okay, so this whole struggle, it's real, and it pops up in some pretty specific and honestly really annoying ways.
I mean, think about it. Have you ever read the same sentence like 5 times and it still doesn't make sense? Or, oh, this one's a classic. You try to explain something really cool to a friend, but you just end up tripping over all the jargon? Look, this isn't just about things being hard. It's about burning through your valuable time and just feeling completely stuck in the mud.
But what if? What if you could just sidestep all that frustration? Like find a shortcut straight from huh to aha. Well, there's a tool out there that says it's exactly that fix.
So, what is it? It's called Concept Explainer Pro, and it's basically a simple little Chrome extension with a really big goal: to let you highlight any concept you see online, no matter how ridiculously complex, and just get it instantly.
So how does it pull this off? Well, the engine under the hood is Google's Gemini AI. And that's key, because it means it's not just pulling up a boring old dictionary definition. No, it's using that AI to really understand the context, figure out what it all means, and then rephrase it in a way that actually gives you some real insight. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. How does it simplify anything? Well, when you find some tricky text you want to understand, you get this sort of control panel, and you're the one in the driver's seat.
And this is where it gets really cool, because you're in total control. This isn't some one-size-fits-all thing. You get to be the director of your own explanation. So, you can grab a super dense scientific paper and tell the AI, hey, explain this to me like I'm a kid. You can pick the tone, decide if you want a short summary or the long version, and even pick the language. And that last part, breaking a huge topic into 5 smaller chunks, that's just a brilliant way to learn.
Now, these tone options are pretty interesting. I mean, sure, you've got your standard neutral and professional, but you can also ask for casual or, get this, humorous. Can you imagine trying to understand something like quantum mechanics and having it explained with a couple of good jokes? That doesn't just make it easier, it actually makes it stick in your brain. All right, if we pop the hood for a second, you can see it's actually using a few different flavors of that Gemini AI. And having these options suggests you can make a choice. Maybe you need the heavy-duty advanced model for a really deep dive, or maybe you just want the fast one for a quick definition while you're reading. It's built for both power and speed. Okay, let's talk about something that is absolutely crucial these days: privacy. The developer is super clear on this. They've stated that they will not collect or use your data. Period. It's not being sold, it's not being used for anything else. For anyone who's a little wary of browser extensions, and you should be, that's a really big deal. It's exactly what you want to hear.
So with all these bells and whistles, you're probably asking, okay, but who is this actually for? Like, who's going to get the most out of something like this?
And honestly, the list is pretty huge. We're talking everyone from students cramming for a final to professionals trying to figure out what the heck their competitor's latest press release means. It's for teachers, content creators, trainers, parents, really anyone who considers themselves a lifelong learner. The one thing that connects all these people, they just need to understand complicated stuff fast.
And this quote here, which comes from what users are saying, it just hits the nail on the head. It's not just about getting the information. It's about changing how you feel when you're learning. It's about going from that awful feeling of being stuck to feeling confident. Confident enough that you don't just understand it for yourself, but you can actually turn around and explain it to someone else.
And that really brings us to the big idea here: the power of understanding. When you strip away all the features in the tech, it all boils down to something really simple, but also really powerful.
This is the real transformation we're talking about. It's the journey from being confused and stuck, from wasting time and feeling totally overwhelmed, to feeling clear, confident, and empowered. And that, right there, is the fundamental promise of tools like this. It's about making that leap and making it as fast and as painless as it can possibly be.
So, I'll leave you with this question. If you had a key that could instantly unlock any complex idea, what's the first thing you would tackle? What's that one topic you've always wanted to really, truly understand, but it just felt out of reach? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me on The Explainer.